Hey kids, happy Monday. Thanks for joining the bonus hour. If you're tuning in expecting to hear Duck Insider, what have you been doing for the last month? We've been doing this almost the entire month of June and now July. We're going to do this until August 1st. The Duck Insider will be back to get ready for college football. I'll make sure we have Dusty join us this week on Wednesday so we can talk Ducks as we get a little bit closer to football actually kicking off. But you got bonus hours today, tomorrow, all the way through the end of the month. You get to hang out with us, whether you're listening on 105.1 FM, 1080 AM, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, 1051thefan.com, or if you're on YouTube, thank you for joining us. We're very happy to have you with us. We've got a special treat for you later on YouTube. We're going to bring YouTube star and host of Seahawks Today, Will Ortner. He's going to be joining us around 2:30. to talk about the new ownership of the Seattle Seahawks. He wants to talk Sam Darnold, wants to talk about expectations. Got plenty of things to discuss Seahawks, and he is tuned into all of that, so we'll kind of get all of your Seahawks questions later. I really, really wanted to have a great show today. It's Monday. A lot happened over the weekend. We have a Wimbledon final. We have now the semifinals are set for the World Cup, but all I could do, Casey, was watch that old man get flipped up in the air by that buffalo. Holy cow.
The 8 foot.
Bison.
He got launched.
Bison in Yellowstone. Sitting there just kind of huffing around like in the dirt, and you've got this video of somebody just kind of watching the bison. On the far side of the bison, 40 yards away, it's not encroaching on his space. There's a road in between this old man, his grandson, and the bison. So he's not uncomfortably close. He's not trying to go up and get his selfie with a bison. You see this old man take a picture, long white beard. He's got the suspenders on. He looks like, an old mountain man. He's been around wild animals. He knows not to get too close.
He's seen a few in his day.
For whatever reason, this bison gets up and is mad. And specifically mad at this 65-year-old, long, white-bearded, I assume plays the washboard for his hillbilly band.
No, he's actually on the jugs.
And a moonshiner. Well, that's different jugs. But, yeah, for whatever reason, this bison just starts running after him. And the guy does a pretty good job evading. It goes in and out through some ponderosa pine or whatever kind of tree there were.
He's doing a great job. For at least a minute to 30 seconds, he's juking out this bison, trying to
he was
get to safety.
He's hiding behind a tree, and he's doing pretty well. Bison not having it. The kid, I don't know what happened to the kid. There's a looked like maybe a teenager, a preteen, if you will.
Again, someone's taking the video too.
Well, the person on the video doesn't It's all the action is going away from the guy taking the video. Cars passing by. This bison is just chasing after this old dude. Gets a hold of Grandpa and launches him like a full 15 feet in the air. He does a somersault. Lands on what I assume was his back and neck. Whew. I could not stop watching that video. I wanted to be prepared. I wanted to come up here and talk about the Dinger score and the home run derby and everything else that happened over the weekend. Can't do it, man. It's 2 hours of just talking about it. We'll be interrupted for Will Ortner. Speaking of bison. Wait, no, he wasn't a bison. But yeah, no, it was quite the video. You can find it anywhere online. Just go Yellowstone bison launches old man, and you will find it. It is about as entertaining as you can get.
According to BBC, the man sustained multiple injuries and was described by witnesses as in a lot of pain. He was sent to the hospital, according to the New York Times. The National Park Service has not released any information about the attack.
It's insane. Just go, of course he's hurt. Of course he's hurt. There's a still shot of him at like the apex of the launch.
Oh, yeah. It's the BBC's opening shot of it.
I know. I might make that my background for all of my things. Like, I've been around wild animals.
Is that better than the Jordan pose?
Oh, yeah.
It honestly might be better than the Jordan pose.
It is a full like cartwheel in there. That is a guy just running head on into the force of nature and just going, yeah, we might be the top of the food chain. That's collectively. It's not individually.
I just want to see what a cartoonist get a hold of this and turn it into this dude's next brand.
Dude, I just you don't even need it. Just take the silhouette and that's it. You don't need a lot of craftsmanship to get that thing going. It is ridiculous. So if you get a chance to watch that, I had an outdoorsy weekend. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but one of my daughters, 9-year-old twins, one of my daughters has been hounding me. When can we go fishing? 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 Can we go fishing? When can we go fishing? When can we? They were supposed to play in a lacrosse tournament this weekend. That got canceled. So I said, let's go on Saturday. We'll go fishing.
Might as well.
Yeah. Her sister wasn't sure if she wanted to go. She didn't really need to do any fishing. She didn't really have like this big burning passion to go out there. Her sister's just, when can we go fishing? When can we go fishing? When can we go fishing? So I mentioned to my brother, I go, yeah, I think I'm going fishing tomorrow. We'll take the girls and we'll take Zuzu. We'll see if her sister Andy wants to go. He throws out there, he's like, hey, if you're going to go, my son would certainly like to go fishing. So it's me, 13-year-old, ends up being 2 9-year-olds go fishing. We did terrible. Absolutely. Went up to one of my favorite spots. Suisun Creek is up past Amboy, Washington.
A lot of snags?
No, not a lot of snags. It was... Suisun is this beautiful remote creek. You go up, down all the logging roads, and then you go, and we parked at the North Fork Bridge, and then we hike down along the rocks. The girls don't have a ton of experience hiking along the creek, so slips, falls, wet feet, wet bodies.
Scrapes the knees.
Yeah, the last time we used one of the fishing poles was for trolling, so the line was real tightly wound. We had some bird's nests that we were making out of line. My reel wasn't working great, so it's just comedy of errors, and
everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
Yeah, we didn't get run over by a bison, so that was fine. Like nobody got launched in the air by an elk or a big 4-point buck didn't come down and stab anybody. So we didn't get attacked by any wild animals.
That's good.
So not everything that went wrong, but it wasn't even that bad. It was just a little bit of whining. I just fell. I'm cold. My pole's not working. Whatever. So I didn't have my line in the water hardly at all. We get down to a spot where we would expect to catch some fish. I hook into a couple, don't land them, no big deal. My nephew is kind of having the same luck, and he's the one that went to Alaska with us and was killing it. He's an old seasoned pro. He went out of the last 9 days since we've been back from a 5-day fishing trip in Alaska.
He's been fishing.
I think he's been fishing 7 out of the 9 days since we returned from Alaska. So this is what he does. He wasn't catching anything. I'm barely even fishing or whatever. We get down, we packed a little lunch, we have it or whatever. A little bit of sun comes out. Like, so nice. I'm like, maybe we can keep fishing because if they're cold and the sun comes out, we'll warm up. Sun immediately goes back away. This cold wind blows up the canyon. Now, my nephew is cold. I'm fine because I dressed for the experience that we're going to go and have. Of course, I have to take off the long sleeve with the hood, the SPF protection.
Giving up everything for the kids.
Now the kids have it. Now, I'm not getting necessarily cold. I wouldn't stop fishing, but knowing what is ahead of me, which is further down the canyon, which means a further trip back, which means more complaining, more falling, more... I'm like, you know what? Anybody want to stay? No, let's just go. So we hike our way out of the canyon. On the way back, they want to keep fishing. Now apparently they had the best time. We made it through. There's complaining about the avenue that I decided to take us out of the woods with. I was like, you know what? The way we fell on the creek, let's go through I don't like the woods. What about ticks? Ticks! Why are you two concerned about ticks? My twin's just yapping about that. What if we see a wild animal? It's just...
When has this been a concern before?
So then we did have a couple tick incidents last summer, and they are getting worse, and there's conversation about it. Whatever. We finally get out of the wilderness. We get back into the car. The entire drive back, they just want to go fishing more. I'm like, all right, I didn't think it went that well. So we stopped by Battleground Lake on the way back.
So it seems like what they're saying is you picked a bad spot first.
No. We've got a camping trip there in a couple weeks. If it was warmer, would have been fine. It just didn't go as planned. But they all still love fishing. The three of them still want to go. So we stopped by Battleground Lake on the way back. Have you ever been to Battleground Lake? Are you familiar?
A few times.
Okay. So Battleground Lake is, if for anybody that hasn't been, it's this perfect little circle. There is no inlet. There is no outlet. It's just a perfectly round little body of water, and you can scamper around it, and there's turtles, and there's bluegill, and there's bass, and there's whatever, and there's heavy battleground residents on inflatable surfboards, and there's people kayaking that are wearing less clothes than they should, and a lot of what's up?
Were the inflatables heavy or the residents heavy?
The residents were bowing the inflatable stand-up paddle boards at the center. You could see where they would normally stop wearing clothes, and you could see those tan lines. You see where they chose to put as bearskin on this particular day, which was bright white, because at this point the sun is out. So just a beautiful day. Suisun Creek, we saw nobody fishing. There was nobody within however far we hiked down the stream. There was nobody near us. We just have the beauty of nature. Then we go to Battleground Lake, and they look at the surroundings, like, well, this is fantastic. It's plenty of battleground joy just surrounding the lake. Mm-hmm. And so we walk around. We don't really catch any fish, and instead of casting into rocks, they're now casting into the trees, which is changing up the dynamic of it whatsoever. I'm looking at my watch. I have plans this evening. Can we please get out of here?
Little steps.
This may be the most disappointing comment. And listen, I love to go fishing, but it's different when you're fishing for yourself and when you're in charge of the children fishing.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter looks up at me. She just goes, so just so you know, and she just looks at me right directly in the eye. This is the one that had no desire to go fishing until the morning of. Looks at me and she says, just so you know, when you take us fishing, it's a lot more fun than when you take us golfing.
Oh.
Burn. My one hope is that they will both find golf entertaining on their own, figure it out, and then golf is something you can do forever. Fishing, also something you can do forever. At least when you're playing golf, you can take turns. Everybody's taking their shots. Yep. When you're fishing, man, all you're doing is, pop, my line, what happened here? I didn't do any fishing. Would have been perfectly fine if I did, and eventually they'll get it. But my hopes of having two little golfers, that right out the window, at least for now. Two little fisher people, well, that dream is well alive. So that was my weekend. It was not a ton of sports. Golf, right out. Thanks, but no thanks. You know those clubs that you bought us?
Goodbye.
Yeah, so that was my week. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend, young man?
My weekend was pretty good.
All right.
Didn't do too many things that were out of the normal. Just hung out with a few buddies, few birthdays went to. Took my lady golfing for the first time.
How'd that go?
It was an interesting one.
Did she look at you and say she'd rather be fishing?
No.
Okay. Well,
because I think she really hates fishing, but
Okay. How did she feel about golfing?
I think she could tell that I was getting a little bit frustrated with things at a certain point.
Yeah.
It's a lot of questions asked.
You know what? Sometimes it's better just to keep your hobbies your hobbies. But, we share them with the people we love.
I'll probably drag her out there again.
Yeah, well, you might just think about going, hey, if you don't want to go, you've tried it. You let me know when you want to go.
You know how the experience is going to go.
This is just my recommendation. I was gonna take the one daughter fishing because dragging somebody out there to do it is never the way to do it. Her sister decided she wanted to go. You've given her the experience. Now let her tell you when she wants to go again. I think you'll have a lot more fun.
Amen to that.
She knows what it's going to be. So do not. This is my wisdom of years to your inexperience with it. Let her tell you when she wants to go again. That's what I will say. What the hell is a dinger score, and how will it predict the home run derby? We'll tell you that next. You're listening to a bonus hour of Happy Hour on 105.1 The Fan. Home Run Derby tonight. New owner for the Seahawks. We've got plenty to talk about today. We've got World Cup tomorrow and on Wednesday. Is that correct? Do I have that right? Pretty good games over the weekend.
Some solid games.
Tell you what's going to be fun now. 2:30. The great Will Ortner joining us. We're going to have him on YouTube and on the airwaves. He's going to talk with us about the Seahawks. We've got more lists of NFL players and where they rank. We'll compare those to Casey's lists. We'll talk about some Seahawks snubs with Ortner when we get into that. How could you put the guy that just won the Super Bowl outside of the top 10? I mean,
I agree.
Well, we'll get into it. But right now, I wanted to give you your odds for the Home Run Derby tonight. Now,
ooh, please do.
Depends on where you look for these odds, what they're going to be. But based on the ranges that I got, your favorite to win the Philadelphia Home Run Derby, Kyle Schwarber, anywhere from plus 280 to plus 340. Junior Caminero is second, plus 325 to plus 400. Munetaka Murakami, 500 to 600. Bryce Harper, somewhere between plus 500 and plus 900. Jordan Walker, plus 600 to plus 700. Jacques Caglione, plus 650 to plus 700. Ben Rice is plus 850 to 1,000. And Wilson Contreras is your long shot, plus 1,200 to plus 1,300, depending on the sports books that you look at. Before I introduce you to the Dinger score, care to make any predictions on what you like? Now, when we talked last week, Munetaka, you're wearing his jersey today.
Oh, yeah.
Mooney was not on the list. I texted you this weekend when I saw it because I knew that you would be excited. You going with the guy that has the third shortest odds?
Oh, that just means that's the best betting odds. That's just positive money.
Yeah, okay. Just rake it. Do you already have your ticket?
Not yet.
Okay. All right.
As soon as I get out of here today.
All right. Well, a lot of people are pretty excited about the two Philly guys going at it, so I imagine there will be a lot on that. But MLB.com is a great resource when you need to learn what the nerds are thinking. And they go deep on the metrics. What they did was they took the last 8 home run derbies, excluding 2021 when they played in Colorado, and they looked at all of the metrics from the first half of the season and said, what on earth can we figure out that will give us some predictive measurement of what we'll see at the home run derby?
Some sort of combination of batted balls. Again,
would you like me to
exit velo?
Yep, adjusted exit velocity, bat speed since 2023, exit velocity on pulled air balls only. So you're getting just meatballs thrown up there. Pull side is usually where most of the power comes from. And then, I don't even know what this metric is. Blast per contact rate since 2023. That is a new one for me. Blast per contact rate. So whatever the hell that mean. A blast is a squared up ball that also done with elite bat speed, plenty of power swingers. So yeah, it is just another metric that somebody is going through and grabbing.
It's when a batter combines a fast swing of 75 miles an hour plus across roughly 10% of all competitive swings and 27% of all batted balls qualify as blasts. So
I started to read that same thing. I'm like, okay, so whatever.
A quarter of every swing, was, again, 1 in 4 every swings is a blast.
Fine. We're not gonna. I'm not gonna give you all of the numbers, but I'm gonna give you the rankings. So let's pull up those odds again. Your longest odd, Wilson Contreras. He actually has a better Dinger score than you suspect. So this actually goes up to 100 if you figure the whole thing out. Back in what was the year that they gave these scores out? 2017. Aaron Judge had a 99 dinger score based on these metrics, and of course won. O'Neal Cruz had a 99 score in 2025. He advanced to the second round and hit a 513-foot home run during the contest. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had a 97 score, won in 2023, so on and so forth. So we can go into that. So going into this year's little competition, Wilson Contreras is your longest odds. He actually has a 63 as his score. There are 2 hitters that trail him with their dinger score.
Ben Rice?
Ben Rice in dead last with a 44 dinger score. Do not put money on Ben Rice.
Then I'm going to guess that it's Jordan Walker with the other one.
It is not. You were
really
way off on that.
Schwarber then.
No. The other one.
I've got nothing.
The other one is Bryce Harper.
Wow.
Bryce Harper with the low dinger score. Kyle Schwarber is just ahead of Contreras with a 76. 1 point ahead of him. Munetaka Murakami. Sitting at a 77. Jordan Walker with an 86.
Okay.
And tied for the lead. Both with 90. Jacques Caglione and Junior Caminero.
Wow.
Before Mooney was in, who were you taking?
I was probably going to take Junior.
I thought you took Jacques last week. I thought I was taking Junior.
I think I was taking Junior. You were taking Jacques.
I think we had it the other way around. I think I was taking Junior. Junior Caminero is my guy.
Either way,
that's who I'm going with. You're taking Mooney still?
Oh, of course I am.
Even with the dinger scores
for a reason.
You're not going to let it sway you. We'll get on that. Junior Caminero, I mean, the odds are pretty good in his favor, so you're not going to make a big win off of that. But Mooney, here's the other thing that's so much fun about this. I just want to see the gamesmanship. I just want to see guys out there, and I think I appreciate the swing count versus the clock. Sometimes you're watching the clock and the timeouts and all of this. This is baseball, after
and sometimes
all.
The quality of the swings isn't as good, and it's just...
Yeah, well, absolutely. You're trying to just rush them in there, and you're just getting them out there because you're trying to beat the clock, and then you see pitchers pressing, whatever. I know that there's a pitch clock. I understand that it's made baseball speed up in the in-between moments, but it is still baseball. You get 3 outs every inning. You get 3 strikes. You get 4 balls. You get 9 innings. It's just get your 20 swing. I think that I appreciate that a lot more, especially when you have 2 guys that are going to be playing in front of their hometown crowd. I'd like to point out that I think it was the 2018 Derby that Bryce Harper won against Schwarber. Schwarber, is that right? So you've got 2 guys on
Bryce
the same
Harper
team.
was the winner,
and he was with the Nationals.
Kyle Schwarber
and that was
the final 1918
in D.C., right? So
correct.
Yeah. So that is your 2 guys that are playing at home. So you've got a winner and a runner-up that are teammates playing at home. I don't care what Bryce Harper's score is. I feel like that guy's a bit of a gamer.
I like it.
And I don't mean that because he's sending messages to people that lost a bunch of money gambling. I don't mean gamer like that. I just meant that he shows up, I think, when the big moments.
I'm with you there.
Okay. So I think this is going to be awesome. Having the international flair, and you've got guys that we saw in the World Baseball Classic. Junior Caminero I was aware of him last year, but in the World Baseball Classic is when you got to know him. Mooney came out this year as a rookie, and it's just been awesome, and then he had the injury. So I love this lineup. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. You've got some guys out there that we're going to learn something about. I'm curious what we're going to see from Jordan Walker, because his dinger score, at least, whatever the hell that means, what was the thing? Blast rate? Blast per contact rate. I don't know what his blast per contact rate is, but that guy has been a bright spot in a team that was not really expected to do much this year. The St. Louis Cardinals have been led by Jordan Walker.
Again, the blast per contact rate, 1-4. So even if he's having a bad round, I'm still going to wait every 4 pitches to expect a dinger.
Yeah, well, it'll be a good start. Well, I guess it's not even the start. All-Star Weekend is already underway. My brother, I'm going to give him credit for his little stat. I have not fact-checked it, so in case this is completely wrong, this is what he pointed out as a fellow Mariners fan. He said 14 out of the first 20 players drafted in the 2026 Major League Baseball draft older than Colt Emerson. So just from an age standpoint, if you're a Seattle Mariners fan, looking at what Colt Emerson is doing right now, is he striking out more than you would hope? Yes, of course he is. Is he still just a 20-year-old playing in Major League Baseball? Yeah. Yeah. So, the draft has happened. It was fun. I've got some other little draft nuggets for you in the Daily Buzz. We'll get to those later. But we got a list of quarterbacks. This one is probably going to take us a little bit of time. And then I've got the next 2 names on the list of the 100 best players as voted on by fellow players in the NFL. But let's get to that quarterback list because it sounds like Casey does not agree with it before he gets angry at everybody at ESPN or the executives or the scouts or the coaches, whoever actually put this thing together. He's going to be angry, but first he gets to do a SportsCenter update. Should point out from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, of course.
First on the Fan, well, speak of the devil, Bryce Harper denies giving FanDuel consent for video to customer. Philadelphia Phillies star Bryce Harper said on Monday that he did not know how FanDuel would use a personalized video he made for a customer who has since accused the sportsbook in a lawsuit of taking advantage of his gambling addiction. In a statement posted on Friday, Harper said that he would not have made the video if he had known FanDuel's intent to use it as part of a VIP promotion or the betting habits of the customer, Terry Thompson. I did not know FanDuel would do this, Harper wrote. I did not consent to it, and FanDuel had no right to do it.
Who would have guessed that getting in bed with gambling partners as a professional sports league would have some undesirable consequences? I cannot believe that this is going on. The gambling sites misusing the likeness and the words of a player just to get people to gamble more. I am shocked by this. Unbelievable.
Well, now I have a message for Bryce Harper.
The ticker falling off of the Chauncey Billups reports on Get Up on ESPN might be one of the funniest things, where the ESPN bet just falling away. Still one of my favorites. What's your message?
Hey, Bryce. What's up, brother? Hey, man. I know my host, Luke Anderson from the Fan Happy Hour, wanted to make sure that your All-Star weekend was extra special. Have a good one.
I echo that. Thank you. That was a very nice message. I appreciate it.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the
Well, if you've ever listened to this show, you know what's about to happen. Casey is about to get angry, and he's going to try to argue with me as if I'm the one that made this list. I don't make lists. I don't really care. I am not about ranking people. I love sports because I don't know what's going to happen. That's the pure joy that it brings. Did I find myself getting caught up watching the end of Norway and England this weekend because I knew a couple of guys on the field and I knew how much it mattered to most of the people in the U.S. who have fallen in love with a big blonde Viking? And I knew how much it meant to England because, oh, man, they have not been to the championship since God knows when, and they've always been good, but they've never been able to get over. I didn't know what was going to happen, so I tuned in, and I enjoyed it. Argentina wins. Patrick Harris is all up in arms because they're not as good as whatever they won. They're in the semifinal. What do I care if they're good or not? Sport is unpredictable. That's the best part about it. We don't know what's going to happen. Is somebody going to win an MVP? Is somebody going to win a Super Bowl? Is somebody going to get arrested for dogfighting? You don't know what's going to happen. Sit back, enjoy. It's entertainment. You, on the other hand, lowercase, you love making some lists.
I'm a psychopath.
You are. We've decided this, and I love it. Because you're giving me, what was it, Troy Tulowitzki photo identification quizzes a couple weeks ago. I'm like,
yes, sir.
I don't know, brother. You missed that. That's the era where I was busy doing something else, man. I don't know. But you, sir, are an insane person, which is why I love you.
I appreciate it.
If we were exactly like this, it would be boring as all get out, and we'd probably get angry with each other a lot more. So what we're going to do right now is we will take a look at the top 10 quarterbacks as decided upon by executives, coaches, and scouts, published by ESPN. This is not me. Executives, coaches, scouts. The bios, the info, all compiled by ESPN. So yell as you like. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to report the news, and we'll see what you do with it.
And I did make my own list this morning, knowing
of course you did.
That I'd probably have a lot of misconceptions there.
Number 10 on the list, Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams. He was unranked last year. But here you have him, number 10 on the list.
I don't hate that.
Jared Goff, number 9.
I hate that.
Drake May, number 8.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Number 7, Justin Herbert.
That's fine.
Is it? Okay. Number 6, Dak Prescott.
Stop it.
Number 5, Lamar Jackson.
That's where I've got him.
Okay. Number 4, Joe Burrow.
Okay, no.
No. Needs to be higher?
Needs to not be on the list if you don't play enough games.
So you do a lot based on last year. Okay.
Is Brock Purdy on the list?
Brock Purdy's not on the list.
Then Joe Burrow should not make the list.
Okay. Take that, Joe. Number 3, Matthew Stafford.
Got him.
Number 2, Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
He didn't play last year. He's coming off an ACL. I mean,
Super Bowls.
Hey, listen, you're just giving me the argument for it, but How much of the season did he play last year?
I believe it was 10 games.
Okay. That's enough. Number 1, Josh Allen.
Yep.
Okay, so your big discrepancies.
I'm okay with the top 5 other than number 4.
Okay, who replaces Joe Burrow on your list?
Sam Darnold.
Won a Super. He also led the league in turnovers last year.
Also didn't turn the ball over in the playoffs at all last year.
Also looked a lot like a run by a guy named Joe Flacco once upon a time. Would you ever put him in your top 5? Coming off of the Super Bowl?
Sam Darnold just has better numbers than Flacco.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, also, if you just look at the wins, I mean, going 14-2, 14-2? No, that's not right. 14-15-2.
So 14-3 or
14-3, 15-2.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that's a lot of wins over 2 seasons with 2 different teams, and now coming back this year with a 3rd offensive coordinator in 3 years. Well, it'll be, I think it's like 5 in 5 years.
And again, he's the first guy that's left off the list for ESPN's list.
So they said
their honorable mention.
Yeah, their honorable mentions are Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence, and Jalen Hurts. Also receiving votes, Bo Nix, Daniel Jones, and C.J. Stroud. Now, the ones that you had the biggest beef with.
Why does Drake May make the list, but Jalen Hurts doesn't? Why does Brock Purdy not make the list, but Drake May does? What does Drake May do that the other guys didn't do or haven't done already in their career?
Drake May was runner-up for the MVP last year.
Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl.
I understand that with one of the great defenses.
Brock Purdy was exactly in Drake May's exact position.
He very much was. So that's
how do we? I don't see it.
Yeah. The Drake May thing that is interesting to me is he is one of the young guys on this list. Like, if we scroll through here, I mean, Justin Herbert, I guess, is now a veteran. I mean, I wouldn't put him as a young guy.
I would have put Herbert just based off of career, everything that's going on. I have him on 10.
Okay.
Number 10 exactly.
Okay. I mean, he's been a rookie of the year. He's, certainly shown more
very
leadership
talented,
as it's gone.
cannot get past the first round.
Got to win some playoff games. Drake May at least won some playoff games last year. Getting a team to a Super Bowl is certainly an achievement. So Drake May, number 8. Jared Goff, number 9. You scoffed at Goff.
Why was Jared Goff lower on the list compared to Drake May? Jared Goff has now done it with 2 separate teams winning playoff games.
Last year was a bit of a step back for the Lions as a whole.
But last year was the step back.
The
last 5 years, Jared Goff is in the top 10.
That's a difficult thing because Caleb Williams wasn't great as a rookie. Comes out last year.
Caleb Williams was really great last
much
year.
Better. He was good. I wouldn't say he was really great. He certainly had moments.
He was the best fourth quarter quarterback, so.
Yeah, well, again, moments where he was really, really good. But his overall numbers still holds on the ball a little bit too long, still makes some questionable decisions. Some of those work out because I'll tell you, man, the Tecmo Bowl pass into the end zone in the postseason, you just go, I don't know if I'd have thrown that. It worked. So then you can't really criticize it. But the idea that is going to continue to work scares me a little bit. So I like where Caleb Williams is at on this list.
Yeah,
I'm very curious to see what he is. And then with Jaden Daniels, he had a better year 2 years ago, but then injured last year. So it's, again...
Why are we considering Jaden Daniels if Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts are off the list?
Well, that's the
why are we even considering it?
We're looking at the honorable mentions, but you can't have a Caleb Williams conversation without having a Jaden Daniels conversation, I guess is my point. Who had the better year 2 of Caleb or year 1 of Jaden Daniels?
Caleb.
You think last year was better, even though they didn't make it as far in the postseason?
Yeah, I think the Chicago Bears were a much better team than that Washington Commanders team.
Yeah, but Jaden Daniels was exceptional in his Rookie of the Year campaign.
I'll take Caleb over Jaden.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine, but that's why we're having the conversation. You asked why I bring up Jaden Daniels. I just think those two will be in lockstep throughout their career.
But again,
it's going to be Russell Wilson and
RG3. That's the argument for who's at 10. The fact that we're sitting here arguing why Drake May is making the list when a guy...
Yeah. So let's hear your list. So you agree with the top 4 of the top 5?
Yeah, I've got Josh Allen,
okay,
Patrick Mahomes,
sure,
Matthew Stafford, okay, Sam Darnold is who I have at number 4,
okay,
Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff.
So I just want to double check on this. You think Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson?
As of right now, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I like that. As a Seahawks fan, I'll take that.
Yeah, I would too.
And better than Joe Burrow.
Again, Jared Goff. Then I have Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Then I have Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh, Trevor Lawrence.
Then
he
I
had a great year last year. I mean, that team, talk about a jump. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, you were wondering if he was even a franchise quarterback last year, and then they go out and win, they win 13 games?
Again, they made
nice.
A good run last year.
Yep.
And a lot of the issue with Jacksonville is what's going on in the locker room. Who was Trevor Lawrence's first coach?
Was that still
Urban Meyer?
It was Urban Meyer. It was Urban Meyer, then replaced by Doug Peterson, and then, yeah.
So, how much do we want to put that on Trevor Lawrence? Not a lot. He had a
good
jump last year where I would now consider him within the echelon of top quarterbacks in the league.
Okay, that's all right. So what number was that?
That was, I believe, 8 was where I had Trevor Lawrence, and then Trevor Lawrence at 9, Justin Herbert at 10.
Okay. So, forgive me. Did you have Caleb Williams on that list?
Yep.
Number 7?
7.
Okay.
Sorry, 8.
8, okay. All right.
Jalen Hurts at 7.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Brock Purdy not on your list.
Nope.
Baker Mayfield not on your list.
First off my list.
Baker's your first one off?
First one off.
Did you say no Jordan Love?
No Jordan Love.
No, and Joe Burrow was not on there because of availability?
Again, if Brock Purdy's not making my list, Joe Burrow's definitely not making my list.
Yeah, you have to be available. You have to get out there and play. Availability, one of the best abilities that you can have. So, all right, well, the lists keep coming out. So we actually have more. I love that they did this. Over the weekend, they put out your interior linemen and your tackles, but I did see that they have already published. So we missed running backs. That came out on July 6th, cornerbacks on July 7th.
I've got interior and tackles if you want.
Oh, do really? No,
you know
I very much do not want that list. As a matter of fact, I'm not all that excited about doing off-ball linebackers, but I'll give you a little bit of time for that. That list will come out today at some point. The quarterbacks came out yesterday, so we will have we can look at running backs and edge rushers because we didn't go through those lists, and then on the 14th we'll have wide receivers, and then it wraps up with safeties. Why they didn't finish this with quarterbacks to me makes
why you don't finish with interior offensive linemen.
Yeah. Well, no, just start with those. Let's be honest. Let's start with interior. Like the fact that guards and centers are lumped in together already is hilarious. Interior, because center is a very different position than guard, isn't it?
There's only 32 of them.
And they're the captain of the line, calling out all the. I feel like center has a little extra responsibility.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe we can ask Suk about that, but I think he might agree with that.
I think he would agree with us.
But yeah, if we're going in order of importance, ESPN, come on, just put quarterbacks last. We can get more conversation around it. But the NFL is making their own list, and you are challenging yourself to match the 100 list. How many names have you hit? Do you have two?
I've got two. Matches? Zach Allen and Budda Baker, my only hits so far.
Well, there's two more names. You promised you wouldn't look at the list. Have you done it?
I haven't yet.
You sure?
I have not yet.
All right. Don't look. We will tell you who the next two names on the NFL Top 100. This is voted on by players. Casey will still argue with me about why I put them there on the list. I did not. And then we'll get into the regular shenanigans of Happy Hour, which will include a interview with the great Will Ortner. He's going to tell us what's going on in Seattle. He's already dug in on the new owner, what he feels about Sam Darnold being left off the list. Plenty to talk about just as it pertains to Seahawks. We'll do that in a little bit. But right now, the next two names on your top 100, this is a bonus hour of Happy Hour on 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. Seahawks talk at 2:30. We have a new owner for the Seattle NFL franchise. We have a quarterback who was snubbed on the best top 10 quarterback list by executives, coaches, and scouts. We've got this Friday, rookies report to camp. We got a lot going on, man. The NFL is right around the corner. I can almost taste it. So who we're going to bring in? Will Ortner covers the Seahawks every day. It's what he does. It's called Seahawks Today, and you can find it on YouTube. He's going to come in and talk to us. I don't know anything about the new owner. I don't know how much ownership matters. We've talked about ownership a lot because of the Blazers. I can care less. But we'll see what he knows. We'll see what he knows about it. How do you feel on ownership?
It's a good thing to inherit something that's already real good.
Well, amen to that, but you didn't exactly inherit it if you spent $9.6 billion on it. There are some owners out there that...
I'm and his wife.
Oh, well, the family is going to be pretty happy about that. The family will be the kids in a few years. If the values keep going up... Here, just real quick, the thing about ownership, about a $9.6 billion price tag for anything, I have no frame of reference for any of that. If I put $1 billion into the next room, if I tried to put $1 billion into this room in all in $100 bills, how much would that be? Like how much space, how much volume? I have genuine no idea. So I have no frame of reference, not only for the actual material that it would take to put together $9.6 billion. I don't know what it's like to negotiate those deals. I don't know what the future evaluations are on professional sports franchises. What we do know is this is a record deal that is way outside of my stratosphere. Anybody that comes onto these airwaves and tells you they know what all of this actually means, I think is full of it. That's just a guess. But I will tell you, I do not swim in that pond.
According to Google AI, $1 billion in $100 bills would occupy about 400 cubic feet of space, about a 7x4, 7x4, 7x4.
7x4, 7x4, so we could...
Sorry, 7.4 by 7.4 by 7.4.
7 feet.
Correct.
So it might fit in this room. $1 billion would fit in this room.
Easily fitting inside a typical 10 by 10 foot storage unit stacked across 10 standard construction pallets or filling about half a 20-foot shipping container.
Well, I'll tell you, that would be the day to watch the Storage Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Just open it up, and it's just $100 bills stacked in cubes. What is going on? Oh, saving he was going to buy the Seahawks, but then he died. Didn't work out very well for him. So
just holding all of his money in a storage unit.
Hey, why not? People are sticking them under mattresses and building bomb shelters right now. People do crazy things with money. I will say that. All right, let's go to the NFL's release of the top 100 players. This is voted on by other players, allegedly. I don't know if people are actually going through and doing this. You sit down, somebody like Myles Garrett. Who do you think the other 99 players are on this list? You think he's sitting down with Chloe Kim and going through, well, I really like this guy, and I think he was doing it.
Well, George Kittle did come out and say that Christian McCaffrey stood over his shoulder while he filled out his report.
Yeah, again, it's very curious if everybody on the list, all the NFL players, the guy's worried about making a roster, sitting there going, who do you think the best players are, putting themselves on it, and then rattling off another bunch of guys that they played at Alabama with. I don't care. Anyways, There's probably some validity to this. How accurate it is, we will find out. The list that they are competing against is one that Casey made himself. We'll figure out who's smarter when we get to the end of the season. I'm sure all of your analytics will tell you if you did better than the actual NFL and the players. We are to number 70 on the list. It's Green Bay Packer. He played in 16 games last year at the safety position, 107 tackles, sack, 10 pass defense, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. Xavier McKinney is number 70 on the list.
I had him at 81.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, a little bit lower on the list.
A little lack of respect for Xavier McKinney. And then number 69.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. This young man has 2 AP NFL Most Valuable Player awards. Only played in 13 games last year. Completed 63.6% of his passes. Only 2,549 passing yards. Averaged 8.4 yards per attempt. 21 touchdowns, 7 picks. 349 yards rushing. He had a bad hamstring that held him out of 3 of those games. Had a back contusion that held him out of the other. Only 2 rushing touchdowns. 7 fumbles for the Baltimore Ravens quarterback, Lamar Jackson, at 69. Is that crazy low on this list, or am I insane?
That's crazy low.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. I mean, I was trying to argue him up from number 5 on the quarterback list.
Again,
I mean, this is a guy.
If he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, there's no way that he's not top 25 in the league.
2 different lists made by 2 different sets of people. This is what the sense that I am getting is that when we look at it from a scout and executive and a coach standpoint, you look at the potential of each player. It feels a little bit like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, it's a what have you done for me lately when the players are putting it.
100%.
So that's I think the difference on this. And again, Lamar Jackson, when healthy, he's the best. I mean, he's as good as anybody from a pure talent standpoint.
Without a doubt.
Does he have that gene to flip that switch when the lights get brighter? We have not seen it. Doesn't mean he can't do it. I mean, he can flash that big, beautiful grill that he's got and smile in all diamonds. But other than that, that's about all he's doing under the brighter lights.
Again, he's a Mark Andrews catch away from being an AFC champion.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But that's a way that
breaks.
That's a way that we measure these guys. The Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls, but because of Scott Norwood, they have 0 championships. They were right there, and Bill Belichick elevates to, his 2nd Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator, and then probably gets job opportunities because of it. And without that Norwood miss and Bill Parcells and all of that, maybe he never ends up with the Patriots in the future of it. If you take the Tuck rule, this is my one butterfly effect thing that I will live and die by. It's a divisional round game, Raiders-Patriots. The Tuck rule would have been a fumble to lose the game. Who starts the next season for the New England Patriots? Drew Bledsoe
or Brady.
Tom Brady, who fumbled away their season when they were looking good. Winning begats winning. If you go out there and you get a Super Bowl when you're young, and then the team continues to build faith in you and you continue to grow your confidence, I think it ends up helping. There's a whole lot of guys that if you switch them with Tim Couch and put them in Cleveland, they do not have the same future that they had going to Pittsburgh or Seattle or New England or pick your places. Just saying. Tim Couch probably does a little bit better if he ends up with a different organization other than the Browns. I mean, we can ask Joey Harrington a bit about it, and I have directly. If you end up with a different franchise besides Detroit, do you have a different future? 100%.
Amen to that.
100%. Lamar Jackson at number 69. That one even got me, and I'm not making a list, but I was like, ooh, that seems real low.
Baker Mayfield was at 77. The next quarterback on the list was Lamar Jackson at 69.
I'd take some Lamar Jackson if you were gonna go out there and start picking teams for a little pickup football in the backyard.
That's my first pick.
Lamar Jackson going.
That's my first pick.
Maybe Patrick Mahomes, maybe Josh Allen.
No,
again. Oh,
Lamar's my first pick.
You're not. Well, I get that. You could talk me into some other guys, but there's not very many of them. It ain't Sam Darnold. It ain't Baker Mayfield. I'm telling you that. There's 2 guys. Patrick Mahomes, because we know what he's done, and Josh Allen, a little bit bigger, similar set, especially if you're playing 2-way and he has to play linebacker in the middle and play quarterback.
Good luck with that.
Put Lamar Jackson at free safety on the other side, though. It's going to make things real difficult. So, all right, well, this has been a fun exercise for today. We will do it again tomorrow in some capacity. Right now, we need to get into the regular mayhem that is Happy Hour. We do it next. You are listening to 105.1 The Fan.
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, it's MLB All-Star Week, as tonight will be the Home Run Derby. 8 hitters will compete in the 3-round derby. Before tomorrow at 5 p.m., the All-Star Game itself will start inside Citizens Bank Park as Dylan Cease and Christopher Sanchez will get the starting odds for the American and National League. You can catch both the Derby tonight and the All-Star Game tomorrow over on 9:10 a.m. when coverage starts at 5 p.m. Over to the NBA, according to Shams Charania, as free agent forward Zaire Williams has agreed to a 1-year, $3 million deal with the LA Lakers. Lakers still currently in pursuit of free agent forward Jonathan Kuminga. As some World Cup updates for you, as we have the day off from matches, Gianni Infantino confirmed that FIFA will discuss expanding the Men's World Cup to 64 teams. Nevertheless, France and Spain will face off tomorrow at noon in Arlington, Texas. And in your other World Cup semifinal match, England and Argentina will go head-to-head on Wednesday. Over to the WNBA, as your Portland Fire are back in action tomorrow morning, facing off against the Connecticut Sun. Tip-off set for 8 a.m. as you can catch that game over on 9:10 a.m. when coverage begins at 7:45 tomorrow morning. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
This is the Fan.
Well, hey, happy Beans and Franks Day.
Break some veins!
No, Beans and Franks Day.
Break some veins!
It's Beans and Franks Day.
Break some veins!
Okay, all you beautiful radio listeners, happy to have you with us. Hope you enjoyed the bonus hour, and thanks for joining us for our normally scheduled happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. You're welcome. If you're on YouTube, feel free to hit us up on the chat. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 FM or 1080 AM online at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you asked your smart speaker to tell me what NFL player is 69, 69, and this is what you got. Use the fan text line, 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use a text, use a chat, share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. Beans or Franks? Lowercase, are you a baked beans guy?
I am a baked beans guy.
Whew, man.
I do like some baked beans.
Yeah, but compare that to a nice Frankfurter.
Break some veins!
What do you prefer?
I think I'll take the beans.
Take the beans. Normally, I would probably say I would go with like a brat or go with like a ballpark Frank or go something like this. But you caught me on the day after. My mom made her calico beans. I don't know what she throws in there. First of all, my mom serves food for carnivores, so there's probably about a pound of ground beef in there already anyways. But it is every colored bean that you can imagine. There's a nice smoky flavor to it. There's some barbecue sauce, and I don't even know what she puts into it. She makes that, and I've got another buddy that makes something very similar. Good beans, the best beans, better than the best Franks.
Oh, 100%.
But most Franks better than most beans.
I don't know about that. Beans are pretty consistent.
I don't know. If you get them too sweet, like you pull them out of a can, something like that, like it's... I've had some okay beans.
Canned beans, you have to add a little bit of seasoning.
You got to do something.
I'm with you there.
The best beans better than the best Franks. Most Franks better than most beans. It's a lot of mediocrity out there in the bean world. But man, you do them right. The depth of flavor, the satisfaction that you can get from a good hearty pile of beans.
There's some mediocre Franks out there.
Yeah, but I always feel like that's fair too. But give me a good Chicago dog. You give me a ballpark dog, even though those are mediocre dogs. Maybe it's the setting and the beer and everything that goes with it. Even just the little, you got your ketchup, mustard, relish, and you hope that they have the chopped onions and the sauerkraut there. Mm-hmm. If I get to do that, like 4th of July, no, it wasn't 4th of July. The weekend before 4th of July, I went and did this run, and they had just like, here's your dog, here's your condiments. You make those pretty well.
I did that yesterday.
It's not the worst. But
it's not bad.
I'll tell you, those beans yesterday.
That sounds pretty good.
No, not a dog in sight. It was all chicken, and then give me that hearty plate of beans. Let's freaking go. Speaking of things that we should be excited about, Bet365 presents Odyssey Sports Midsummer Showcase Special from Philadelphia today. That's July 13th, 7 p.m., following primetime. You should definitely be checking that out. Speaking of things worth checking out, Will Ortner said he'd jump on a little bit early, so let's get to some in case you missed it, shall we? In case you missed it, former teammates Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro were engaged in a physical altercation at a Las Vegas hotel practice court after Herro publicly criticized Adebayo's defense online. Wasn't exactly the fight of the century, but witnesses say it was definitely more entertaining than the Max Holloway-Conor McGregor fight. Am I right?
Do you think Bam announces his punches like a Batman Thriller from back in the day?
Oh, I sure hope so, yeah. Bam! And the big punch mark comes up. But how was your UFC fight? Did you love it? Was it great?
The card was great. Tough main event.
In case you missed it, during his first public appearance with the Trailblazers in Las Vegas, Ja Morant accidentally signed his old Memphis number 12 on a Portland jersey. Morant is switching to number 1 in Portland because the team is saving the number 12 to potentially retire it for LaMarcus Aldridge. But honestly, that shouldn't bother the fan who got the autograph, because by the time Portland figures out their rotation, Ja is probably going to be the 12th guy on the depth chart anyway. So I think it works out. First-year Blazers head coach Mike Inori has already said that he is open to bringing Ja Morant off the bench. So you'd have to assume that he's probably fine not bringing him off the bench at all if he stinks, right? Like, he could be terrible. Morant said he's looking for a fresh start in Portland and mentioned that he's taking up kayaking. I think Blazers fans would be a little bit more excited if he was taking up a respectable three-point shooting percentage or taking up being 6'7". I think that would probably be, like, I get that you're trying to connect with the Portland fans, not necessarily the way to do it. In case you missed it, Philly star Bryce Harper is suing FanDuel after they potentially suing FanDuel after they turned his personal cameo video he recorded into a VIP gambling commercial. The shout-out was originally meant for a fan who lost $2 million on the app. Harper explicitly denies any affiliation with the sportsbook, clarifying that he only did the video for a quick buck and under the distinct impression that he'd never actually have to think about the desperate peasants buying his uninspired cell phone videos. So he didn't. Harper is furious with the corporate crossover, stating, I did not look blankly into my iPhone camera wearing a dirty hoodie just to have my artistic integrity compromised by its sportsbook. So I apologize to everybody. No? You did such a great reading of that video. I thought that would be the perfect way to follow up with it, but, hey, what are you going to do? In case you missed it, FIFA is considering expanding the World Cup to 64 teams, which is crazy because if they keep adding countries, sports fans might actually have to learn geography. Can you imagine? It would be awful. Say what you want about this, but the World Cup has been great theater, and growing it not only creates more on-the-field storylines, but off the field, FIFA has 16 more countries to extort tax breaks from. So it's good. It's kind of a win-win. I mean, listen, not every team in the field has a chance to win, but picture being Cape Verde, and now you can say, because of our participation in the 2026 World Cup, that guy Infantino can get a bigger yacht, and we helped with that. It's just so nice for a small country like that to be able to help out, Imagine the GDP of FIFA a little higher than Cape Verde.
I think so.
Okay, and finally, in case you missed it, Portland is hosting a massive 2-mile waterfront bike ride on July 19th to break Seattle's Guinness World Record for the largest e-bike parade. Watch your back, Seattle. We're coming for the title of least athletic city in the Pacific Northwest. You don't stand a chance. Organizers of the event say the registration is completely free, assuming you don't count the baseline cost of the mandatory uniform, a hand-knitted alpaca poncho, raw denim shorts, and a fresh tin of artisanal handlebar mustache wax. Other than that, won't cost you a dime. All right, big thanks to our studio audience. We are going to move on to the Daily Buzz. A couple news and notes from the draft that was in Major League Baseball. A record set by the Red Sox they haven't done since 1977. A 100-year-old record set by the Rockies. And a couple draft picks that will match the last name of franchise legends. All that and more in the Daily Buzz. We do it next on 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan is...
Well, the Seattle Mariners finished with a win going into the All-Star break, but it was not all the prettiest of winning. You had Emerson Hancock take a 107.2-mile-an-hour comeback off of his hand that had him exit the game early. The X-rays were negative, and he is expected to be healthy and ready to go after the return of the All-Star break. You also expect to have Julio Rodriguez back, who was suffering from a concussion from a ball that hit him in the back of the helmet when he was going to second base. Your future for the Seattle Mariners looked fairly bright. Futures game over the weekend, you got an inning from both Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan, both through a scoreless frame in the futures game. What that means moving forward, who knows? But hopefully the Seattle Mariners can come out of this All-Star break with only one guy really participating in the weekend festivities in Randy Arozarena. Hopefully they can come back healthy, resurgent, and ready to maybe play some good baseball, possibly. Catch up to the Rangers and catch up to what the expectations were going into this season.
The Buzz.
I did like the stat that our friend Patrick Harris gave out earlier today, so I will repeat it. The last time you had a Blue Jays starter for the All-Star game, it was a guy named Roy Halladay, and that is being repeated by a guy named Dylan Cease this year. The last time you had a starter for the Phillies, it was a guy named Roy Halladay, and is being repeated by a guy named Christopher Sanchez, who was absolutely unhittable to start this season, so should be a fun one in Philadelphia. Love it when the hometown can represent the starting pitcher, plus a couple guys in the home run derby. It should be a fun weekend for All-Star baseball.
The Buzz.
Hey, the Brewers drafted a guy named Sabathia in the 20th round. It's Karsten Sabathia III, the son of former Milwaukee ace CC Sabathia. The Cy Young winning father is going to be represented by a power-hitting son. So not a pitcher for the Brewers, obviously a late-round pick, but should be fun to see if we can get another Sabathia in Milwaukee. Speaking of guys drafting similar names, well, I like the first name a lot. Luke Pettit, drafted by the New York Yankees, son of Andy Pettit. Now, this one's kind of interesting, too. I'm not saying that he is the next two-way player, but he was...
Lefty?
Well, he was a power pitcher, but then had to get Tommy John surgery. And so, while he was recovering from Tommy John, took the DH position and has played really, really well. So here you have a young man who can do a little bit of both. Who knows what the path to the big leagues is, but he was taken in the 8th round of this year's draft. So listen, we won't know what these materialize until much later down the road, but a couple names that are familiar to their fan base is worth keeping an eye on.
The Buzz.
Well, the Diamondbacks got their first sweep of the Dodgers in Chavez Ravine since 2017. It took a little bit of comeback magic from the D-backs to take down the Dodgers, but your Dodgers not looking so invincible. I think we had this conversation last year as we were going into the second half of the season. They seemed to be just fine when we got to the postseason, so you may not need to worry about it. Elsewhere, the Red Sox have pulled off a feat not done by the team since 1977. The Red Sox wrapped up their first half with a 9-game road winning streak. In Colorado, you saw a feat not achieved in 100 years. Leadoff hitter Jake McCarthy led off Sunday's game with an inside-the-park home run in San Francisco at Oracle against the Giants. He is now the first player since 1929 to have 2 inside-the-park home runs in the same season.
That's wild.
That is anytime it's 100 years. Well, it's almost 100 years, but that
100
is
years for baseball stats. That's cool.
Nobody's done it since before the Great Depression, so probably a pretty good one. But, hit it down Triple's alley, and the outfielders kind of thought that it bounced over the fence. It had not, and he had a stand-up inside-the-park home run, his second of the year. Let's see if he can get a third. We got a whole half of a baseball season left to play. Who knows when that was done. I should have looked up who it was, because those are always the fun names from the 1920s. You know, Skippy Malou or whoever it was, but I'm not sure who the last guy to do it was. I should have looked it up. And I apologize to you, the listeners. That damn bison video. It took up too much of my time today, and I'm sorry, everybody.
The Buzz.
And let's wrap it up with this, because I do want to talk to our friend Will Ortner, and we will talk to him shortly. Did you happen to see the contract that was signed by former Trailblazers guard Gary Trent Jr.? He just signed a 4-year, $64 million extension with the Bucks after a pretty mediocre season. So last year he averaged just over 8 points per game, shot a career-low 36% from three. Last year he played on the minimum, and now he's extended 4 years, $64 million.
Look at that.
The suggestion is that there was a handshake deal. Hey, come play for the minimum so we can help Giannis go and get a championship. It did not work, but they still owed him based on the handshake deal. I'm not saying it's anything, but I'm not saying it's nothing either. So, just something to keep an eye on. That Kawhi Leonard trade is being held up because of the aspiration or whatever the environmental tree thing that they did to get him a little extra money in Los Angeles. The NBA is kind of running into some trouble. They love creating the parity, and it's worked for the most part. I mean, you've had 8 champions in 8 seasons. That's what you want for a league, right? Anybody can go out and win it. But this second apron, having teams like the Celtics breaking up, you have people trying to figure out ways to skirt it because they want to pay more money to players. This is another one just worth keeping an eye on.
And I've got the name for you.
Yes.
Colorado's Jake McCarthy is the first player to have 2 inside-the-park home runs in the same season since New York Giants' Ed Roush in 1929.
That's not as fun a name. You should have just made one up.
I know.
If you're gonna waste my time with Ed Roush,
It's Ed with 2 Ds.
Oh, there you go. 2 Ds on Ed. What was his nickname? Spanky Roush?
Give me a minute.
Give me a minute. No, let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. We'll see what we missed.
Well, you mentioned it earlier in the show. First on the fan, Conor McGregor to undergo surgery. He will plan to fight again, but McGregor will undergo surgery following his first-round loss to Max Holloway at UFC 329.
Can I tell you the sad part of it? I watched a little bit of him just falling down, his leg not working to brace himself after trying to kick, what's his name?
Max Holloway.
I know, I don't care. I just said it that way to be very dismissive of your passion for UFC. He promised that he would be back in the octagon. Do you remember in a day when the sport used to be like, we don't want you back? Mm-hmm. That is not combat sports anymore. That's a sad part of it. Whether he's fighting one of the Paul brothers or Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather needs a paycheck, whatever it is, the sad part is if he wants to come back, he will have an opportunity to come back. And that is what is sad.
He's the highest grossing draw that the sport has ever seen.
Again, being the problem with combat sports. I'm sure there's a ton of great young fighters, yes?
Yeah.
Yet people are going to pay to see old, worn-out no-knees come out and fight again in the octagon.
Worn out's a bit strong.
He literally fell down 3 times in the first 60 seconds. The guy wouldn't punch him because he looked so pathetic laying on the mat. And after 69 seconds, or 61 seconds, or whatever it was, they went, you know what, we'll just stop. Am I wrong? Tell me what I said there. I might not have had the exact number of seconds right, but it was less than 70 seconds. And they just went, yeah, we'll just pass on this. Thanks for trying, buddy. Have a good surgery.
Again, you protect the most valuable asset in your company's history.
Just say. Make him a personality. Have him out there. Have him hold the ring cards.
Sophie Cunningham.
There you go.
And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football.
All right, kids, welcome in. Doing something a little different on this Monday. There was some big news over the weekend. Seattle Seahawks have a new owner, and I was talking the other day with this young man that's joining us now about the Seahawks. We said as we get closer to the season, we'll have to get this conversation moved to the radio. But, hey, with big news, we love talking NFL. Welcome back our good friend and former fan colleague, the host of Seahawks Today. It is Will Ortner. Will, how are you, buddy? Will, are you there? Do we have Will? I think we have his face on YouTube somewhere. Working on it, efforting. Well, so here's the thing that's going on with the Seahawks. We've got the list of the top 10 quarterbacks came out. Sam Darnold was snubbed from that list despite going out and being perfect through the postseason. Might be something on his end. Will, can you hear me? We might need to change something up on your end. We also got new ownership group. The Seahawks sell for a record $9.6 billion. So we will hopefully get some information. Will, I think I can hear you.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, buddy. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. I don't know what I did. I did nothing.
Well, you know what? This just brings me back to the day when you would fill in as a producer on The Sinner and the Saint and have no idea what you're doing with the control board back then. So it's just a little walk down memory lane. It's perfect.
Hey, you know what? I'll never get better at stuff like that. I'm not a technology guy. I'm a talking guy.
That's right. You're a big talking head. That's literally what you do. You stand there and you have all the graphics behind you. How is the adventure into being the guy on YouTube that talks about the Seahawks every day?
It's super fun. I've never known more about the Seahawks in my entire life, to be honest with you. I don't think I've known more about Vinod Khosla and his dealings and what this new ownership group is going to look like in my life. In the past, I would have just been like, oh, cool, that's the new owner. He's into AI. That's great. Hopefully the Seahawks keep winning. And now I'm diving into OpenAI and how that's going to impact healthcare, and that's not where anyone wants me using any of my resources.
Well, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. That is a good place for you to be. It's only going to make you better as a person. So you just described me. We obviously have the new owner for the Portland Trail Blazers that everybody hates already, even though he just won a championship with his other team in the Carolina Hurricanes. Everybody hated Jody Allen here in Portland, despite her winning a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. So now that the Seahawks have a new ownership group, I don't know if any of this even matters, but tell me what you know about this new guy, including how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sure I'll butcher the rest of his family's name. But Vinod Khosla is the new owner, or the Khosla Group is the new ownership group for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Vinod is interesting. He's a venture capitalist, although he likes to claim he's a venture assistant. So his company's philosophy is kind of come in, give the people what they need, whether it's money or resources or whatever. And then he kind of likes to take a step back and let that company kind of grow and trust that they know what they are doing, right? So a big business that he worked with was DoorDash. He got in early on, helped give them whatever resources that they needed. And then they ended up, going public, and now they're one of the biggest food companies when you are fat and lazy and don't want to get off your couch.
Yeah.
So Khosla is very smart in knowing when to invest in things and what to invest in. Of course, we all know that Paul Allen bought the Seahawks for under $200 million in 1997, and then they just got sold for $9.621 billion. So,
yikes.
Obviously, there's a good return on investment there. I'm sure the Khosla family wants to get involved in this. His wife, Nehru, I definitely didn't pronounce her name right. She is the controlling owner. So even though Vinod is the one that everyone knows, Nehru is going to be the one who's technically on the list of the controlling owner. And then at some point, the son, Neil Khosla, is going to take over. He's really big in AI and healthcare. He's a big part of Pure AI and everything that they're doing.
Well, I'll tell you, if their philosophy matches his philosophy, which is get in while there's value and then let the business operate the way it's been operating, that's pretty good. How surprised were you last season when the Seattle Seahawks seemingly came out of nowhere to win their franchise's second Super Bowl? Because I'll tell you, I did not see that coming at the beginning of last season.
No, I thought it was crazy that everyone had them as like the worst team in the NFC West. I mean, people are going to forget this, but if you would have went on like DraftKings or any of those other sites, you would have saw that they were listed as the worst team in the NFC. And I never understood that. I figured they would be a team that was competing to be a wild card, maybe sneak in. But then it became clear that that's, not what they were going to be. They were better than that. They were a team that should have been viewed more highly going in, and I think that people just kind of downplayed Sam Darnold, and it's clear that he is an elite game manager. He's never going to be a tier 1 QB, but he's going to be a really darn good tier 2 QB. You can win a title around him. Mike McDonald that had a vision for what this defense was going to be. He built that vision perfectly. It's got a lot of veteran leadership while also at the same time having a lot of youthful energy. And then offensively, how are you supposed to know that Jackson Smith-Njigba was going to be the best wide receiver in all of football? You thought he was going to be pretty good. I thought he'd be a Pro Bowler, maybe All-Pro. I didn't see Offensive Player of the Year. So I think a little bit hit all right at the exact right moment for this team. But at the same time, they are where they are for a lot of different reasons, and a big reason of that is the culture that's been created by John Schneider. So in my eyes, if the Coastalers are going to be smart, they should just let that man do what he wants to do. Let Mike and John Schneider do whatever they want to do, hands off, and then just get really excited when you raise the 12th-man banner during NFC Championship game.
Let me ask you a question as a follow-up. You said there's no future in which Sam Darnold is a tier 1 quarterback. He was the third overall pick. He's only 29 years old. He was able to win 14 games with Minnesota a year ago. Did they win 15 last year and a Super Bowl? He led the league in turnovers, so he's not afraid to take risks. He's got some of that gunslinger, and he's more athletic than people give him credit for. Is there a world in which he could be a tier 1 quarterback? I mean, if he has the right system around him, he's got the right weapons. He was pretty damn good in the playoffs. I know he wasn't that good in the regular season, but he made throws when you needed him to make them. And the Super Bowl was not one of those games, but the NFC Championship game certainly was.
No, 100%. I think you saw the best version of him during the playoffs. The problem with – it's not even a problem with Sam Darnold – is I just think if you give him the keys and you do the let Russ cook, but now with Sam Darnold, I think you fall into this trap of maybe Darnold's numbers become greater than what they were before, and they're pretty darn good right now. But I worry that that's not the best version of Sam Darnold that gives you the ultimate team success, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
When Seattle was at their best with Russell Wilson, he was a game manager. And I think that too often we view this as a dirty word, right? Oh, you're a game manager. Well, that must mean that I suck. And that's not what it is. What we're saying is you know how to take what the defense gives you. You know how to set your team up to win. And I know we like to claim that wins are not a quarterback stat, but they really are. Every time we argue about these quarterbacks, it's, well, this quarterback won more than that one. Once you get past all of the stats that you have to fit your narrative. So to me, with a guy like Sam Darnold, let him be a game manager. Don't ask him to be a tier 1 guy. Maybe he can be. Maybe he can turn into someone that we talk about like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, talk about Patrick Mahomes. I don't foresee that for him. I don't see him ever being a real MVP candidate. And I don't want him to be that. I want to win football games. And the way that this team wins football games is by holding on to the football on the offensive side, running the football, letting Sam Darnold take what comes to him, throwing the football to JSN. I'd love to see the emergence from Rashid Shaheed. Everything you hear out of OTA's games, he's been awesome. And then play defense at an elite level. Get the best defense in the National Football League. Don't make the mistake now of trying to go back to this let Russ or let Sam Darnold cook. Maybe Sam Darnold reaches greater. Maybe we start talking about him as being a bottom of tier 1 type of QB. But I really feel like it's going to stop the Seahawks from being a Super Bowl contending team. I really do.
I don't argue with that sentiment at all. It's so often that you go after individual accolades and then the team suffers from it. But the other thing that happens with quarterbacks, at least in my viewing experience, is if you can stay humble and play with a team that has all the weapons, everything that you have around it, a great defense, that's when guys take that extra step because they just get that experience. A game can slow down. It does make it easier. And the longer you have time with an organization, with a coaching staff, all of that. We're talking with Will Ortner. He is a former fan employee, one of my favorites, and then, of course, is hosting Seahawks Today for Chat Sports. So let me ask you a question about last season. And are we not giving Klint Kubiak enough credit for what he did? In year one, Mike Macdonald hired Ryan Grubb from University of Washington, and that was obviously not the right fit. You bring in Klint Kubiak, the team goes from good to great, wins a Super Bowl, and now you're going with Brian Fleury, who has zero experience as a play caller. Big difference from Klint Kubiak. 2 questions about Brian Fleury. One, does he kind of look like they're remaking American History X as a sequel and he's the old version of Ed Norton? And 2, do we know anything about what we can expect from him as a play caller?
1 is a much harder question to answer than 2 is, because American History X, that's going to be a little bit before my time. Is that Nazi? Is Edward Norton a Nazi in that movie? Are you making a Nazi reference there?
Well, I'm just saying he has a bald head in it. But if you look at Brian Fleury, he looks – I'm not saying he looks like a Nazi. That's probably a long way to go. I'm saying he looks like Ed Norton, and that's the one where I can picture him with a bald head. So that was not the implication, but thank you for going there.
Well, I'm not trying to go there. That's just what the movie is about. Am I right?
It's fair. I'm just saying, have a look at the kid and let me know what you think of the coach, and still tell me if he looks like Ed Norton.
I'll get right on that.
And it looks like he has very short hair by choice. I'm just saying.
I just looked up a picture. I agree with both of them.
Okay, all right. We'll go there, and then the second part. What do we know? What do we know about the offense that he might be calling?
Well, the offense that he's going to be calling, I think, is going to be very similar to Klint Kubiak. It's very clear that Mike Macdonald wants a run-first offense. I mean, when you wear a hat that says run the dang ball to a press conference when your OC is Ryan Grubb and he still refuses to do that, it's pretty clear where you want this offense to go and what you want this offense to look like. Fleury's from the Kyle Shanahan tree, obviously just coming from the 49ers. That's where Kubiak was at one point. He is a Shanahan tree disciple. I think at times the national media is giving Kubiak too much credit. I can't tell you how many times during the season it felt very frustrating. Like if the Seahawks didn't get a first down, then their drive stalled immediately. If they got that first down, then everything rolled forward. I felt like Kubiak at times, and he got better as the season went on, but he'd have these whoopsie plays. Like, why do we need Jalen Milroe out running a speed Austin for no reason? I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me.
In fairness, they did scrap that pretty early on.
They did. But like I said, early on, it was a struggle, and then later it got better. And I'm not here to poo-poo Klint Kubiak. He won a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator. He knows what he's doing. But what I'm saying is that I feel like there's this big knock against Brian Fleury, right? You hear it all the time from ESPN, Fox, CBS. He's never called plays before, so we don't know what he's going to be. Well, I kind of think we do know what he's going to be. Now, is he going to be able to call the right play in the right moment? Maybe, and that's going to take some time to really figure out. But I think he's going to be able to sequence plays well. I think he's going to be able to design plays well. He got the job as an underdog. He was someone who wasn't supposed to have the job. I remember when he got hired, I agreed to go and help out at like a family event down here. Because I was like, there's no way they're going to hire Brian Fleury. They're going to hire Jake Meeks, or they're going to hire someone else just not coming closer to the organization. And so to me, it just became clear that he went into this interview. He earned the job. He is great at everything that's going on schematically. And then we just have to figure out, and we'll figure it out pretty quickly, how well he can call plays. It's something that he's going to have to really work on. It's something that's not going to be perfect right away. But you're going to see a lot of running the football. You're going to see a lot of 2 tight ends, maybe even 3 tight ends as 13 personnel becomes more in vogue. And you're going to see Sam Darnold making nice, easy throws. And then probably once, twice a quarter, he's going to take a deep shot to JSN or Rashid.
Well, I'm not mad at any of that. Will Ortner from Seahawks Today. We appreciate you joining us. We'll have to do this again when we get a little bit closer to the season, when we get into training camp. Rookies report on Friday, and then next week you've got all the veterans coming in for the weekend of the 25th. We'll have everybody out there. So keep doing what you're doing. It looks like the numbers look awesome on YouTube, and plenty of fan interaction, I hope.
Yeah, man, I love it. And for the people who are making fun of me right now, I have a concussion, so you're making fun of a guy who's concussed. Have fun with that.
Why are you concussed?
Concrete's really hard.
Oh, boy.
Shouldn't take a header.
All right. Well, we'll get that story next time. I wish I knew that. We would have led with that. Thank you, Will Ortner. We will conclude Happy Hour. We'll do it next. You're listening to 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network. If you missed anything from this show, past shows, future shows, find the podcast. It's available at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app. There are 57 days, 14 hours, 25 minutes, and 22 seconds until the NFL kicks off Seahawks-Patriots on Wednesday, September 9th. It's going to be great. What are people saying on the YouTube chats and fan text line that we need to address?
Got a few texts that says, miss Big Will Betts.
Yeah, no, I talked to him maybe last week before, told him that we'd love to talk more Seahawks, and he is, like he said in the interview, he is on the Seahawks more than he has ever been ever, just staying connected to everything that's going on, digging into it. So yeah, he and I had a good off-the-air conversation, and I was like, hey, if you're available, we'd love to have you on more often. So that'll probably be a regular feature as we go into the regular season. He also works for Chat Sports that has insiders doing the same thing for every NFL team. So we might also go through and talk with some of the guys that are on that for Seahawks opponents. We can talk Steelers. We can talk whatever the big stories are in the NFL, trying to find guys that they won't be as good as Will, but finding guys that are similar. So he's going to help me out with that. So it should be fun. That way we can kind of get our NFL insider roster built out as we go. So if you've been listening to the bonus hours, we'll talk plenty of NFL. Are you ready for
One more on the road.
You watch any WNBA over the weekend, lowercase?
I caught a few games.
I didn't catch any games, but I did see a clip that is maybe my new favorite clip. Have you ever been watching a basketball game and from out of frame, here comes a shoe right off the back of a player? Betanya, I don't know how to say it, Lainey Hamilton was ejected in the closing minutes of a tight game between Toronto and New York when she threw a shoe that hit her opponent in the back, Marina Marbury.
She threw a shoe?
The shoe fell off of another player that was
Who
in the
throws a
play.
shoe?
I'll tell you. Exactly. So a player falls off, the shoe falls off a player that's in the play. Somebody from the bench grabbed it and tried to chuck it up so that you could put it back on, and then drills a player who has been in contentious bouts the entire game. She gets drilled in the back. It is maybe my new favorite clip. The WNBA doesn't always draw me in. When it does, it's really good. It's really good. Big thanks to Big Will Betts, Will Ortner, for joining us. We'll have him on more. Thank you, Casey Smith. Thank you, everybody that listened. No thanks to Will Ferrell. And, of course, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.